Sri Lanka's most powerful news brand.
Welcome back. This is Face the Nation. We start off the final round with Shavin Bandaranaike. He is the UNP additional list candidate for the Colombo Municipal Council. Shavin, what sort of change would you instill if you are elected to the council? You have 2 minutes. You can speak on behalf of the United National Party and conclude your remarks.
Thank you. I think it's from the very inception I've been sort of championing this concept of participatory citizenship. I'll give one example, for instance, of what I actually mean. We've been having pocket meetings and canvassing all across Colombo the past few weeks, and pretty much every single meeting that we have, we go and speak to people, we tell them our ideas, the plan that we are proposing, and then soon afterwards we open the floor and people pose questions directly to us as presumptive councillors, as well as the Mayor, Mrs. Rosie Senanaike. And each of those instances, what we manage to do, or what we try to do, is besides providing the answers that we feel are accurate and what we feel are required, most of these people who ask questions are actually experts in those areas as well, and they give us information which are quite staggering in some instances, very insightful. So once these meetings are over, we go into the crowd and we actually speak to these people and we ask them for solutions from their end. And this is not in some haphazard manner, because we want to continue and foster that once we are elected and once we get in to the municipal council as well. Now, Mr. Salih mentioned earlier that we should be working and not have meetings and all of that. And I agree with him to a certain extent, because that's usually the case, that's what happens. But having said that, once you really look at how most of these policy and infrastructure has been put out there, it's usually without the connivance of the people, of the citizens. I'll give you one personal example, for instance. I live down Lake Drive, and for the past 1.5 to 2 years, there has been road construction going with a multiple number of people actually doing the construction work. Now, most often than not, once you speak to these people, the unfortunate fact is, if there was a little bit of dialogue, if there was a little bit of communication to specify that this is what we are doing, what is your feedback on it, how can we improve, that sometimes goes quite a long way. And that's what I feel is quite lacking. And when I mentioned earlier about the fact that we have not had holistic approach, it's primarily because the central government as well as the local authority has been at two different ends. Now, with the UNP being allowed to go into the local government, into the municipal council, you'll have one mindset and we'll be able to work with line ministries in that context.
Thank you very much, Shavin Bandaranaike. Shavin, very quickly, you said that you also attend pocket meetings. Don't these individuals express their disappointment of the way in which governance is now taking place in the country?
Frankly, on a very one-to-one level, yes. They do mention that they feel that there could be much more that could be accomplished, and that is granted.
Thank you very much. I now move my attention to JVP Mayor candidate for Colombo, Dr. Ranil Jayasena. Dr. Jayasena, the thinking usually is one of the main political parties should be ruling a particular council. Why do you think the JVP can make a difference if they are elected to the Colombo Municipal Council this time? The time starts now.
As a doctor, I give priority to beautify people's lives before beautifying the city, because I will look after my subordinates first, right? And to get them to work for people, first you have to look into their grievances. The workers in the council itself, right? That they are working under very, low level this thing, and we have proposed some, special allowance for people who are working under difficult circumstances, like, when you consider the garbage disposal, the workers, the laborers who collect garbage, have you ever seen them doing that? Right? They are not wearing gloves. and they get lot of skin infection, and they inhale carbon monoxide throughout the day. They are not provided with masks, right? That is actually the humanity is not considered in this administration. I see it as a very pathetic situation, right? Therefore, I will look into their grievances and get them to work for people, and then we will win the heart of people to support our administration, to give the feedback. Right? That's how we will work. And to do that, and we are confident that we can do that because JVP is not corrupt. Right? We will spend to the cent to uplift the patient, our people's life.
Thank you very much, JVP Mayor candidate for the Colombo Municipal Council, Dr. Ranil Jayasena. I now move my attention to Azad Sali, who is the leader of the National Unity Alliance and also the SLFP Mayor candidate for Colombo. The United National Party has been holding the Colombo Municipal Council for many, many years. Why do you think that you can make a change this time around? And what sort of change can you still?
Actually, Samir, these 3 years of performance, see, we got the government with a big struggle, sacrificing our lives, we were able to bring the change. After the change took place, I think the UNP came into power after 21 years. So they were really hungry to rob some money. So they started doing it, and that is why the bond, all these tenders, everything, they started taking it on their own side. And that created a problem for the entire country. And that is why today, if you say, even the bond report says, this must be investigated from 2008. So that means the previous, that is the Rajapaksa family, one side. And now the Ranil Wickramasinghe episode. So both are corrupt. In other way, both are corrupt. So the only person whom people can't point a finger at is the president of the country. I mean, he's clean. His politics is clean, the party is clean. Up to today, nobody has been found guilty or even charged for something. But here, the UNP is corrupt, the former regime of Rajapaksa is corrupt, so people want a change. Because every day you say UNP, 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 what has the UNP done? Nothing. Right? You don't need a UNP mayor to come and say Gotabe is good. So hey, this has been the trend of the UNP. So why people want a change is that they want to see a beautiful Colombo, a vibrant Colombo, a good environment for people to live, good schooling they want. Today you see how many children without schools. You don't have, and they have to just go into international schools, which are, you know, the standard of the international school. There is no standard whatsoever. Nobody is even doing anything from the education department, because they say you just go to the business registrar's office, register a company, and then you start a school. So that is, there is no restriction whatsoever brought by the education ministry. We have been telling them to bring in a national policy to streamline the international schools and the standard of those schools, because the environment is the most important thing for anybody, even children or parents. So that children don't get that environment, they don't have a playground. There are schools without playground. There are 3,000, 4,000 children in some international schools, no playground. So you have to have all those things. So as Sonali said, the spa that is coming out. How many spa? Every lane there is a spa today. Right? There is no restriction. As you say, prostitution is going in a big way. So no children are going after classes, they are just going into the motels there. So all this, the Colombo Municipal Council can do this, and we will do the change. We will do Colombo beautifully, and you will see the change in 6 months.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Azad Sali, leader of the National Unity Alliance. You always sound like a politician, Mr. Sali, so I leave it at that.
Not as a politician.
Thank you very much for joining us.
You have seen me as a worker, my dear.
Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We did invite a representative from the Sri Lanka Pudujana Pyramid to attend today's show as well. However, as you can see from the empty seat, 1.5 hours gone, and we still did not get a representative. However, Milinda Rajapaksa, who is the mayor candidate of the Colombo Municipal Council representing the Sri Lanka Pudujana Pyramid, said that there is a blanket ban on the party to attend the talk shows. I really don't know
want to ask,
why.
Because all the debates that we have been going, after one debate on Rupavahini, both the candidates are not coming. I mean, Rosie Senanayake is also not coming. Porto is also not coming. So both have got into.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sali. We have to leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Dr. Ranil Jayasena, thank you very much for joining us this evening. I wish you nothing but the best. Let's see what the people decide at the local government polls on the 10th of February. Thank you very much, Shaveen Bandaranaike. Let's hope and pray that you all get adequate number of seats so you also would enter the fray and will be talking on behalf of the people. All the best to you as well in your future endeavors. And to Mrs. Sali, let the best man win at the local government polls. Let's hope and pray this time you have the right end of the stick and not the wrong end of the stick. Thank you very much, all absolutely. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much, Nadine, for joining us this evening, and thank you very much, Sonali, for joining us this evening. Now I know why you became a journalist. Eavesdropping, you stop doing that at the Carpet Registrar's department. Am I right? So next time they go, they need to be watchful that Sonali Bandaranaike is coming, and don't discuss about food. So thank you very much for joining us this evening on the show. Our topic of discussion, of course, was on the local government election and an emphasis on the Colombo Municipal Council polls. I want to leave you tonight with a quote, as I always do. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Go out there on the 10th of February. Vote and make your vote count. Take care and good night.